Think of the choices that are so great. Those wonderful choices that do so much good. Create no loss and do so much good in this world. Helping out your fellow man and womankind. Helping out creation and its continuance. Growing a farm or a garden true. Helping out when someone's in need. Showing respect to those that you do not like to be with. Telling them the truth of honesty and protecting from the loss of your own choice. Think of all the choices that you can make that are of good. Think of all the good choices in this world. Cooking a meal for your family. Doing a good deed for a neighbor. Where do those choices end you? If those choices were reflected back upon you, wouldn't that be great? Because you know what they are. They're reflected back upon you in death. Where else? What other choices are reflected back upon you in death, though? What other choices have you made? So every choice is reflected back upon you in death. So, from that meaning, what kind of afterlife are you going to have? That's the choices. That is made up of the choices you've created. I cannot tell you, but you can tell yourself. Remember back to all the choices you've made for this world. The simple ones to the big ones. And imagine them all reflecting back at you. What have you made of yourself? What kind of afterlife will you experience? What are all those good choices a part of? Someplace good, right? What are all those bad choices a part of? Someplace bad. What about in between? What are all the choices, where do you lie in between? Or is there an in between? Think of it as a scale. Good choices, bad choices. Lots of good choices, bad choices. Eventually, with all the choices you've made, because we're not talking about just two choices, we're talking about all the choices of your life. Which way is the scale going to go? Good? Going to be going to a good place? Or bad? Going to a bad place? The choices you've made already would lead you where? If you were to die right now, boom, you're dead. Where did your choices take you? If you were to think back to remember every choice you've ever made. But what can you do to make it so it goes good? Making more of those good choices. Making more of those rightful choices. Those choices you want to do. That help other people and help yourself. And what about those choices that are not so good? Do you want to continue to make those? Do you want to make up for some of those too, don't you? You want protection from those choices happening. How do you protect from a bad choice that you've made in the past so it doesn't happen again in the world? So that your influence that you created doesn't cause loss to the world. Because we all create influence. Some in large amounts, some in small amounts. But how do you counter the bad influence you've given? How do you correct the mistake of the past? That's something that you have to figure out. How do you keep making good choices and making good influence? Well, that's something that's pretty easy to do, isn't it? Redemption isn't just saying, well, I want redemption for my sins. Cast away my sins. That's not what it means. It means you have to fix the sin that you have made. It means you have to go out there and make it better. You got to fix it. That's why if you take a life You can't fix it. And you're going to a bad place. Because you created what loss that is unrepairable? Unless, of course, they're threatening your life, in which case you're protecting them from harming others' lives. See how the choices that we make this day and every day of our lives that we have made determine what future we will have in the next life? If you think of death as a reflection of all the choices you have made, as though life were flashing before your eyes, how it creates what you are a part of, where you go and where you decide and where you end up. Think about all the choices you've made so far, including the little ones, because those are some of the best ones. And think of where you would go right now. Is it a place that you want to go? If it isn't, if you don't want those choices returned to you, what can you do to make it so that you can make it to a place where you want to go? How can you fix the problems you've made of the past? You know how to do it. And I thank you for your time. Christopher David Clayton of the United Unified Belief.